Okay, what do great high school athletes do in the off season? Hopefully rest. That should be the first order of business for any athlete finishing, a hard season of training and racing. This is more acute for high school athletes because they don't have years of base and kind of mental, emotional capacity for that kind of load. So the rest becomes even more important. Here in Utah, for high school athletes who finish state champs last weekend, end of October. Taking November, December mostly off, maybe some chill open riding is a good place to start. And that's usually what I recommend for people that I coach. Definitely keep structure out or just at a very minimum. I would definitely do some other sports. If you don't have an outdoor endurance winter sport that you love, find one. Ski touring is great, but yes, it comes with a ton of baggage in terms of equipment, education required, plus, the need to have a partner when you go. But, snowshoeing, Nordic skiing, hiking, running are all great options. Since people always ask, yeah, alpine skiing is great. But I said endurance sport and it's just not that. So, as an aside, I do think alpine skiing is a really nice way to stay sharp with mountain bike skills. It's really similar, kind of spatial awareness, proprioception, handling your body at speed. All of those things are really aligned, similar to riding a mountain bike. So I do think that alpine skiing helps keep your skills sharp through the winter, but it is not an endurance sport. So it doesn't really fall in that, group. And that's not to say that you have to be doing endurance sports constantly. In fact, I do think a lot of that November, December time should be pretty minimal endurance sport. But I do think it's great to have, when you kind of get back to training, it's great to be doing some off the bike endurance activity. So in terms of the specifics of the off season, it's really individual. I see some kids finish the NICA season really quite burnt out. And even though they may say they still want to ride, man, I really think they need to be forced to rest, at the very least, to get off their bike for a little while. So, some kids bounce back pretty quickly. They're not super burnt by the end of the NICA season, but there's a pretty wide variance. So it's hard for me to make real generalizations here. And usually that's a determination that I make on like a case by case basis, just by talking to the racer. You can really get a sense of how they're feeling about riding. Excuse me. Even if their words say, I still want to ride my bike, there are clues. There are always clues, whether they need a break or not. So just listen to how they talk about it. And you want to make sure that they are really super hungry to ride again before getting back into any dedicated training. So, in short, I don't think there's really a formula. It's up to the racer, the parents, the coach, kind of the supportive community that exists around the racer, who really know this person and can evaluate, what their motivation level is. But that's what I would be looking for, is enough of a break that the racer is really super hungry to train again. If there is one kind of general rule, I would say err on the side of less is more and avoid feeling pressure to get back to training too soon. But it is pretty individual. But definitely mix in some off the bike work and take a good solid break.